In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.
Good morning, Portugal, and I'd like to welcome you to another fantastic day.
Hey, Gumpers.
Alegria Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show, live stream and podcast. Who doesn't like a cultural happening first thing in the morning? That is what we're doing today. Oh, my goodness. And I've been talking this week, haven't I, about how it is that this is the place where you can learn something about Portugal, something new about Portugal every day. I think we've proved that so far, and we've got so much for you. I'm just shuffling up so that Mrs. M can join in, fresh from the shower, I believe. Like a sexy film star, basically. It is Sexta-feira today, putting the sex into Sexta-feira. And, of course...
Filomena Friday.
Oh, yes. Thank you for the reminder there, Owen. Owen. I said, Owen can be with us, of course. Owen, join us from 10 a.m. Oh, that's the first bit of housekeeping to tell you about. GMP VIPs, please join us at 10 a.m. The link is over there on the GMP VIP platform so that you can hang out with us at 10 this morning. After the show. It's an after show hangout, the first of its kind, and we will do this on the second Feelgood Friday of every month, a GMP VIP hangout. Some news to share with you. Another change. They say people hate change. I love change. Let's see who else is up for change as well. Mrs. M, do you like change, or are you not ready to talk yet? And how do I get the screen sorted out? Oh yeah, here we go. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. I'm just.
Oh, nice and loud. Can you not hear yourself?
No, I can't.
Oh, that's because the headphones aren't plugged into the right space yet. We'll get this sorted. No, they are plugged into the right. You can't. Can you hear yourself now?
I can now.
Ah, very good. Okay, so we're good. All right, just catching up very quickly. The dream team. Good to see you both. Thank you, Owen. Thank you for reminding us that it's. What are you doing with the microphone? Where's our roadie?
We haven't got one.
You're doing this classic thing where people who don't know what they're doing start messing about with the equipment and make more problems than originally there. Have you done? Yes, you have, haven't you? Everyone's seen this, haven't they? Somebody gets on a stage and starts saying stuff like, "Can you hear me? Yes, we can hear you. Get on with it." Oh, the microphone's not in the right place.
Tell you what, I'm going to lower my chair.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? That's one way of doing it, isn't it? Now budge in a little bit. That is to scale, to be fair, isn't it? My massive pumpkin of a head and your dainty little face there needs to be perfect.
Hang on, let me just move.
Thank you, Owen, for those kind words. Yes, hang out. GMP VIP. Oh, please, will you stop messing about? I can hear that really loud in my headphones, and I'm sure it's very disturbing for our listeners as well. Have you finished now?
Yeah, I'm here now.
Well, what we needed was some big, fat, hairy roadie to come in and sort that out for us, to bend over in front of us so you could see all his Dagenham cleavage and smell his sweat just as he's adjusting your guitar strings, so to speak, and making sure everything's okay. If anyone wants to apply for that job, gmpvip.com. I think I need to take a breath. Right.
Yeah, here.
Filomena Friday. We'll take a breath and drink water at the same time. There's a circus act. Right, I'll be there. Okay, we'll see you at 10. Fantastic. Over there on the GMP VIP platform is where you'll see the link to join us at 10. Fantastic. Emma's here. Hello. Good morning, Hen. Good morning, lovely ones. Nice to see your happy faces. Great to see you. Testing. 1, 2. How many sound engineers does it take to change your light bulb?
I don't know.
1, 2.
Very good.
Thank you.
Emma's
heard that from time to time.
Yeah, that's such a dad joke, isn't it?
It is. We are the place. We're the absolute center of the universe for dad jokes. We're establishing ourselves as such. Thanks hugely.
I mean, you could just become a dad joke.
90 minutes of dad jokes every morning. People go ending up in casualty because they've slapped their foreheads so much they've actually hurt themselves, drawn blood. Yes, made themselves red raw with forehead slapping. No, just 3 dad jokes per show, unless I forget, and then we'll double bubble on that. Okay. Are you saying you've got that face on where you're thinking about whether you should say?
Face?
Well, no, you.
I've got that face on.
No,
Yeah,
there is
my
a
face.
particular face, and I think it's the one where you're thinking, I want to say something, but this is beyond the pale, a little bit too disgusting to say right now. There is a particular face that you do. Not this one, apparently.
Yeah, it's not. It's not
that one. Okay.
No, because I don't normally hold back, do I?
No, that's true. That's true. That'll be an interesting
Have we got a
proposition.
couple of birthday announcements or
thank
celebrations?
you for bringing some production to the show while I'm just trying to settle myself. First of which, then go on.
Happy birthday to our lovely friend Sarah. I won't say how old you are because I can't remember. But I believe you've got a nice thing. I think you've got a lovely day ahead of you. And I
hope so.
And I can't wait to see you soon and to chat. And yes, have a fantastic day. I think it's her first birthday in Portugal.
Oh, I see what you said.
And so it's always
birthday.
No, it's always a big deal, isn't it? Like, how did you spend your first birthday in Portugal? And what came up?
God, it's so much better when you're here. How did you celebrate your first birthday in Portugal? I can't remember.
And what kind of
a bit more.
Well, you were here for pretty much a whole year before you celebrated your birthday.
Okay.
Mine was in Lisbon. We went on the
Come on, come in a bit closer. Oh, then you're gonna have to adjust your microphone.
We went on the lovely boat, didn't we? From
the lovely boat.
The boat across the river.
The ferry.
Yeah, and we saw.
Oh, you did a bit of Christmas shopping, didn't you, as well?
We saw Mike and Dee. You had a business meeting on my birthday, as per usual, but
so bad.
But
so bad. It's not bad that I do that. It's bad that you have to mention it. Oh, that fly's still in the studio from last night. Did we not get in with the electronic tennis racket forearm smash?
Yeah.
Let's do that live on the show today.
Okay,
Let's get that electronic.
So yeah, I mean,
racket.
I think birthdays are pretty big and all celebrations. And my experience is it brings up a lot of stuff for you, because you might normally be at home celebrating with people that, irritate you when you see them, but you almost can't bear to be a part of. You know how like
misanthropic. Not everyone's like that,
No, but most people that do move away from their country of origin are
avoiding people.
No, I wouldn't say avoiding people, but they don't feel as connected to the people who can't bear the thought of moving away. If you see.
Oh yeah.
So it brings up a lot of conflict.
Oh, I see. And then those phone calls where people are going to say to you, "Oh, we really miss you."
Yeah, and so there's a little bit of awkwardness. And so yeah, Sarah, I'm not wishing you awkwardness at all. I'm wishing you an absolutely beautiful birthday.
We just hijacked your birthday, in fact, to make some psychological expat observations.
I am wondering, what are your experiences of your first birthday here, or every year, and what do you do to make it feel really good?
And as I guessed,
and celebrate it big.
Yeah, a lot of the gumpers. I don't do birthdays anymore. No, don't do birthdays. Don't do birthdays. Just another day. Birthday, there you go. What is that? Says James this morning. And Pete, my first birthday was in Portugal. His first birthday was in Portugal. It was awesome, and we had Luke from Off Grid Life cooking and about 30 guests. It was delicious. I was terribly drunk at the time as well. Nice one,
good
Pete.
For you, Pete.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that you had you were living it up. I think that's great.
Absolutely. Did you get the solar power joke? It's not going to take off overnight, Pete. Solar power. Hey.
Very good.
Okay. More of those later, I promise. Okay. And hola, bon dia, kids from the lovely Munsons and soon to be sunny Portugal. Okay, that's a good affirmation.
Yeah.
Hurricane Storm Oscar has been working his way through their way through Portugal.
Seriously, there's a hurricane.
Well, a storm. I see. I keep upgrading it. I'm sorry I do that. That's not fair or right.
You do like to create a drama, don't you?
I do. My eyes are red this morning, so I'm in my own little drama this morning before the show.
Really? What?
I'll tell you in just a moment, because I don't think we've finished celebrating Sarah's birthday yet. Let's just conclude with that. Okay. Happy birthday, Sarah. Yeah. Have a great day. And happy anniversary. I believe it's Bob and Viv's birthday today.
Oh.
Did I say birthday?
Yeah, you did.
It's not their birthday. It was Bob's birthday.
A couple of days ago.
Yeah, happy anniversary, Bob and Viv. World famous Bob and Viv. And there's some lovely words to go with this announcement. If you have a wonderful man who helps balance your whole world, who isn't perfect, but is perfect for you, who works hard and will do anything for you, who makes you laugh and drives you crazy, who is your best friend and sometimes your only friend, who you want to grow old with, who you are thankful for every day. Take care of him because it's a blessing. Some advice for you.
I was just going to say, is that aimed at me?
No, not at all. It's complete coincidence. That's some Jay Shetty.
I was also wondering where you were reading that from.
Did
because
you see
my
this
eyesight
picture?
I saw the picture and
It
I was
does
like,
look sort of slightly pornographic, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Yes.
And the writing just looks a little bit too small for me. So
I
was
was
thinking,
able to read
how
it.
the hell are you reading that? I need my eyes tested.
You don't have to borrow someone's glasses. You can just borrow me to read small print. And I just did that.
That sounds great.
Thank you for sharing that news on Facebook, such that I was able to see it, and therefore wish you a happy anniversary today.
And to have a dig at me.
Not at all. I know it looked like that, but it really wasn't my intention. I can assure you. In fact, the reason my eyes are red is I was crying again listening to music before the show. No,
really?
Not Coldplay. But sometimes when I'm tired and emotional, as I think I must be, as I discovered this morning, I'm listening to some of my favorite soul tunes, and I just start blubbing. And I was thinking, this is not a good look at 27 minutes past 8 o'clock in the morning. When
I did hear you doing your...
You heard me singing?
Yes,
I did. Not weeping and wailing at high volume.
I didn't hear you going...
Because the children are... Dad's listening to music again.
Fly.
Right. Okay. And if that fly lands on my forehead, you are allowed to smack it.
He's on...
Go on. If you listen really carefully.
Let me tell you my microphone. He's right on my... He's right on my mic. You
can sometimes hear them, especially if there's two of them fornicating on the microphone with that.
He's just having a nice time.
Hello, Mr. Fly.
Hello.
Now go away before we get you with the tennis racket. Yeah. Okay. I want to get us in shape for Filomena's arrival because...
Filomena Friday.
And say hello to everyone in the chat. But the setup, if you like, for the show today. The whole idea of us learning about Portugal is what we're about here at Good Morning Portugal. Learn something new every day about Portugal. We're going to learn loads today, and we always do when Filomena is with us.
Who's Kinder Andreguas?
That's Matty.
Oh, he's changed his name.
His farm between... Where you been? Did you not see it on the cover of Diaria de Noticias?
No, I didn't.
No, he's changed his name. That's his YouTube channel. That's
okay.
Matty. And his first birthday,
congratulations,
distracting me again. My first birthday in Portugal, Owen cooking, and invited a couple of friends to celebrate in my rental house. How lovely! Beautiful. I loving these, and had Jason and Garvo. You got to be careful putting it like that, Matty. Yeah. I've had him as well. I had Jason. We used to have a friend who used to say that.
I've played with him. Is what he said.
That was a different friend. That was a musician. I played with him. He played with everybody. Yeah. I also had a friend who always had his Grinder app on and would tend to say also.
Oh, I've had him.
A passing waiter or whatever.
Had him.
Had him. Oh, get him. I had Jason and Garvo on my first birthday in Portugal. Well, you might want to rephrase that, but we know what you mean there, Matty.
Yeah, because Pete said,
great birthday.
Sounds sweaty, Matty.
Oh dear, stop it. Everyone's
obviously getting ready for the weekend.
They are, aren't they? And okay, so this is in line with what I've been trying to say for the last 15 minutes now. Is Rio? What do you when you think of Rio? Please, no more distractions. Okay. I can't take these flies. I can't take it. No, don't. I need to talk to you about this. We can deal with a fly. We live in a hot country, for goodness sake, and it is sweaty, isn't it?
It is.
This humidity does bring the flies to the yard, so to speak. Right. I say Rio. What do you think of when I say Rio? Apart from the DVD.
Dancing in the Rain.
Oh, Duran Duran.
Yeah, of course.
Her name is Rio.
Of course.
Okay, but why did they call a song Rio? What's Rio all about?
I don't know.
We should have talked about this before the show.
Yeah.
What you're meant to say there was partying. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Well,
I
mean, we do
forever.
We do have the two Rio videos, don't we?
Yeah, and that's not what I mean. But the cartoon. But that's a good. That's okay. That's perfect. Focus. Yeah, because that's all. I mean, the action is in Rio and Carnival, right?
Yes.
So party capital of the world, possibly Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. But no, I think Portugal is the party capital of the world, and I think they've missed the trick, as we're going to discover today. I mean, we've alluded to this before. But I mean, think about it, Mrs. M. It's Santa Populares, and Filomena is going to be talking about all the preparations she's been doing with her friends in Miranda de Corvo with the Marchas Populares, the carnival-style marches. That's going to be happening in Lisbon as well. And this, if you think about it, this is the beginning now of the party season.
Yeah, our festival starts tomorrow, doesn't it?
And there will be no sleep till autumn. Will there? Portuguese people are going to be partying now around this time. June's a great month. Kicks off with all the Saints festivals, and we've got our 10 days of partying in San Martino de Porto starting in a few days' time. Maybe even tomorrow or tonight.
Tomorrow. I just said it starts tomorrow.
All right, sorry. and then it will go on and on and on, and that's what's so funny about the opening image this morning. Would you like this, Mrs.
I didn't see it.
Oh, that's me.
Yes,
that's my six-pack there.
Yeah,
and we need to get in training now. Next year we'll do this in conjunction.
I'd love to see you pull up your shirt like that this time next year
to reveal some
hairy
bakery
rolls.
Talk about a Papa Secco. Is that what they call Papa Seccos?
I don't know.
Because it's a dad bod underneath the shirt.
No, maybe. I think it'd be called like Papa Hairy.
Papa Secco. No, take those back to the shop with your receipt and complain. Excuse me, can I see your complaints book, please? I do not like these hairy Papa Seccos I just bought in the Algarve on there.
They need to put in a little extra big hole to represent the belly button.
It's not too bad, is it? Yeah.
Maybe put a bit of fluff in it.
Bit of icing in it. No, that's not a good look. No. I didn't mean to say that. Let's move on very quickly.
Does that remind you of your birthday, Matty?
Stop it. Right, okay. Where was I? Rio. And yes, of course, it deserves to be known as a party capital.
Yeah.
But Portugal is missing a trick in not marketing itself around the world as the party capital of the world, where you can come anytime from June until September and get involved in some serious party action. Food, booze, religious festivities, fairgrounds, farturas, everything, every possible type of confection and Portuguese food and booze and everything. Dancing, partying. That's the bit I'm interested in.
You're just doing a loop of food and booze.
I am doing a loop of that. Is my life in Portugal, is a loop of food and booze, let's face it.
Yeah.
And we need to train for this.
I don't think they are missing a trick, because I don't think the Portuguese people do want loads of people crashing their party.
No?
Like the Brazilians are all like, yeah.
But they're not unfriendly about people joining.
Bon dia.
Right, okay.
Like Portuguese are kind of like,
it's just what we do.
It's just what they do. They're so humble.
Okay, well, I'm going to do
I don't think they're missing a trick.
You don't?
No.
I
think they're saving their... I think they're keeping their festivals beautiful.
And just for themselves.
And serene. And well, also not just for themselves, because they do are very inclusive. Like if you go to one of their festivals, they're really kind and homely.
Well, no one knows where anyone's from at those, because a lot of people have come back from around the world of Portuguese origin to celebrate the. That's what they come back specifically this time of year, right? To do that. And June, July,
Isn't that just
and
to
August.
See grandma, really? Rather
it
than
is, but
to have a bit of grandma's cooking.
That thing we went to at Salir de Porto.
Yes.
That was a classic, wasn't it? Of people who hadn't seen each other all year, and were converging on the weekend.
Seemingly Portuguese people speaking with American accents,
Canadian accents, French accents. That's right. That's right.
All the grandkids coming home.
Yeah. So everyone, really convivial atmosphere. People haven't seen each other for a long time.
It's
okay. Well, maybe I'm wrong then. Maybe I'm wrong. What does everybody?
Well,
think
I don't think you're wrong. I just think let's see what everyone else thinks.
That's a really nice way of saying you're wrong, Carl.
And I
don't think you're wrong, but let's just see what everyone else thinks.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't think you're wrong, but let's find out if everyone else is saying you're wrong.
What's happening? Why is it storms? Darren is asking. Well,
I don't know.
Why is it storms?
Do you know what? I don't know. But when I lived in France, I lived on the west coast, on the Atlantic coast. And at this time of year, every year, without fail, in the 5 years that I lived there were so-called hurricanes. And one of them really was like a hurricane, and it whipped up my tents in a frenzy on the campsite.
Not a euphemism.
No. And actually I was managing a campsite, and it ripped through all the tents and stuff. But I'm used to it being stormy on the Atlantic coast around this time of year, but I've not noticed it happen at this time of year.
We didn't get much rain in April. We're certainly getting it now, aren't we, in the last few days? And Darren says Porto's busy enough already. He's sounding like a curmudgeonly expat, isn't he?
Yeah.
I'm happy. Okay, enough's enough of this partying. Okay.
But that is what happens. Like when we get here and we enjoy it, everyone wants to protect what they've got.
These friends from Sheffield won't be. You don't need to be embarrassed. I've got friends. Are you from a different part of Yorkshire, Darren? And there's a lot of stake here with friends coming from Sheffield. Hey, lad. Oh, it's a bit wet here, isn't it? They won't mind that at all. It's cold and wet in Sheffield. They'll be all right. Double rate.
I've had my Scottish clients like saying,
"Oh, shall I slap it?"
Yeah, you've got permission to do it to me as well.
Really?
Yeah.
What fun!
Oh, this could be really good fun.
Yes, but I'm at a disadvantage with my landing strip.
I don't know. I've got quite a big landing.
Careful. Right, they'll be fine. Anyone got any advice for Darren?
Well, they know how to keep warm in the rain.
Sheffield people. Yeah, but they're coming here expecting to be get sort of lobster complexion by the end of the day, having drunk several glasses of port.
That's one of the unfortunate things, isn't it? Because I always think the people that get left behind, there is a little bit of tension. Like every time I speak to my parents in Kent, they're always like saying, "Oh yeah, we've got great weather here at the moment."
Oh yeah,
and we're just like reporting how the weather actually is. Whereas I think people in the UK, they almost want to stand up for the UK or probably America or wherever you're from. You know, they want that sense that the place they live in, it hasn't been denigrated. And so when they do come out, there is a little bit of
the bragging rights, the weather bragging rights.
Yeah, the weather bragging rights sort of kick in. I think you're just going to have to suck it up.
Front it out, suck it up.
There will be some great times as well.
Why don't you take them to WOW and pretend it's a museum about water, World of Water, and take them along. Then they'll be delighted. Ready? Okay. Didn't even get it, did I?
You just wanted to hit me.
I did not. That is so not true. And now there are 2 flies in here.
That was nowhere near the fly.
It was so close. We could have an action replay if we had a technical team.
I think someone's probably going to do that.
We could have 2 American football type commentators. Oh my God, he was so close there. He's going to have to raise his game now if he wants to squash that blue bottle.
Just wait. Come on, land on your forehead.
Visiting museums and World of Water.
Happy birthday, Sarah. You might not have.
Suck it up, sweetheart. Yeah, Buttercup. Suck it up, Buttercup.
Come on, you're from Sheffield, Darren. You're gonna be fine.
Is he from Sheffield? I think he's from.
I don't
that's
know.
The problem. He's
okay.
He's meeting people from a different part of Yorkshire, so there'll be a certain
that's
rivalry.
even worse. That's even harder.
Yeah, it is. And look, here she is, birthday girl. We were singing your praises and wishing you happy birthday earlier on, Sarah Taylor. Have a beautiful day today. Watch the replay to see us talking about your birthday for about 10 minutes, in fact. Let's go back to the beginning then, where it all began with the wise men of the Gumpocalypse, with T-Duck letting us know tomorrow. You see, this is all part of the party atmosphere I'm talking about. Tomorrow is Portuguese National Day, Portugal Day, which is celebrated June the 10th by both residents of Portugal and people of Portuguese ancestry all over the world. And us immigrants, expats and foreigners who want to get in on the action as well. Portugal Day, Bom Dia de Portugal, you could say to your friends and neighbours. It's official and its longer name, official name, is Day of Portugal, Camões, and the Portuguese communities. Camões, of course, a celebrated figure, perhaps the most celebrated iconic figure of Portugal. The date of the holiday was chosen because of the death of Portugal's most celebrated author, Luís de Camões, which occurred on June the 10th in 1580. And remembered to this day. See that fly going across your headphones?
Oh.
Past the on-air light.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder what it's doing. Is it looking for other flies? Is it trying to find fecal waste?
I've just washed my hair. It's completely clean.
Yes. A deep thought then when it comes. And Mel Robbins has been good this week.
Are you featuring a different
Mel Robbins
thought leader each week?
Turns out we are. Mel Robbins good on this. When it comes to your dreams, you have to. What are you going to do? Please do not do the electronic tennis racket on my forehead. That's not allowed. Okay, that's off limits. When it comes to your dreams, you have 2 choices: pursue them or be haunted by them. So come on, people of the. Here she is. It's turning. This could be very interesting now. If you've not seen one of these before, we are not preparing for Wimbledon. We are about to. Well, Mrs. M is about to assassinate flies, hopefully. And she might have the Royal Society for the Protection of Flies calling in, very upset about this. To see the live slaying of flies in the studio. So you're going to do this in a standing position?
No, I'm going to wait for the fly to come in.
To land on my head. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Mel Robbins, then, for that. Your dreams, either pursue them or be haunted by them. Okay, Mrs. M, I think you're in the
hold on tight.
The former category. What are you doing to me?
Hold on tight to your dreams.
Okay.
Great song.
Oh, yeah. Yellow, right? Accroche-toi à ton rêve. Melanie Robbins is the host of the Mel Robbins podcast. Very eponymous. Quem sabia then? Oh, the Herman Wall telephone, also known as the privilege phone, was a type of telephone created by Portuguese inventor. And this is great because we've been having these wonderful Portuguese inventions all week, spawned from the age of discoveries through into the later times, as we see here, Maximiliano Augusto Herman in 1880. And did it sound like this, I wonder? Have we got this careful, Mrs. M? I think you're enjoying this perhaps a little bit too much, Mrs. M. I can't find the British ringtone anymore. Or can I? Yes, I can. Not that one. This one. Did it sound like that, I wonder? And now people will be taken back to their childhoods as someone shouts in the house, "Can somebody get that, please? Why do they always have to ring at dinner time?" Okay, it's enough of that. So there's Max. Isn't that a thing of beauty, Mrs. M?
Yes.
What I'm concerned about here, though, is are the two people on the call, do they have to stand next to each other and stick those in their ears and mouths, possibly? Hopefully, there was another one of these several miles away, or at least a few yards away. You are so dangerously close to me, and I'm uncomfortable, I've got to say, with the electronic tennis racket. Hold on, let me just turn that. That's what it sounds like. It's frying. Have you got something on there? Or is it that's just a standing voltage, is it? This maybe what this telephone used to sound like. The pioneering use of buttons to activate the telephone played a fundamental role. Have you got one of those push-button telephones? The pioneering use of buttons to activate the telephone played a fundamental role to the opening of public lines in the main cities of Portugal. There you go. In the late 1800s, 19th century. The telephone was composed by a double earpiece. So did you stick one of those in each ear, I wonder, with long flexible tubes, not that long, and you had to be careful. The first people must have walked away from that, causing themselves personal injury. And you'd want to look in that hole as well, wouldn't you? Thinking you could see the people as well, which was to come later with the advent of the video conference. And a transmitter, that's inside there, and that beautiful piece of woodwork, fixed to the main body of the machine. Herman worked for the Portuguese railway company, the PRC, as a... Ow! I didn't even get it, did I? He later opened a workshop. I have got one on my forehead, live on air. Oh, ready? Go on, Mrs. M. Ow! Oh, that was so hard. This is turning into a Japanese TV show. Right. You're not sorry at all. You do not look like someone who's in any way sorry. Okay, I'm just going to take this off the screen so you can see this woman who's just assaulted her husband live on a live stream here. Look, does that woman look sorry to you? Do you want to apologize?
This one here. No,
yes, I'm talking about you. You do not look in any way sorry. Philomena's in the green room being very concerned for little Carlitos who's been assaulted.
I suspect
she's calling the GNR. Right. Excuse me, I was trying to do a King Sabia, if you don't mind.
Sorry, you gave me permission to smack your forehead.
I'm seeing double. How many fingers am I holding up? If I can barely hold up my fingers after that. Whew. Okay. Right, okay. Where were we? Herman works for the Portuguese railway company. I'm a professional.
You are.
As a telegraph line inspector. I will blurred vision, a big sort of like 4 red finger outline on my forehead. I'll continue regardless. He later opened a workshop in Lisbon dedicated to the production of precision instruments. Who doesn't like a precision instrument first thing in the morning?
Yeah, we all like one of those, don't we?
All right. Oh, excellent dad jokes. A few of the community I know, old hippies, will love these dad jokes this morning. These are kind of dude jokes as well as dad jokes, aren't they? Dude jokes this morning. Should we do the first one of these, Mrs. M? About a subject about which I know very little, but enough to know why this is funny. What number is higher than infinity?
I don't know.
420. Oh, sorry, wrong number. But that's what happens in such a situation. There you go. Very good. More of those to come a little bit later on. And just as we're about to bring Filomena onto the screen and maybe me book my visit to Casualty after the show, Filomena, oh, she's back now. Okay, let's give her a nice big round of applause. We'll do the God Squad tip of the day to see if it's useful for preparing for party season. You're looking quite pleased with yourself and not at all. What's the word?
I'm feeling actually
recalcitrant.
No, I'm feeling a bit shocked.
Are you?
Yeah.
He did give me quite a blow, I should say.
Yeah, sorry. It's because it was on that side. I couldn't quite see what I was doing, and so
It was a reverse left hook.
I used my right hand, which is the one I'm not familiar with using.
Okay, let's give her a nice big round of applause and see what she has to say about this. Filomena Friday.
Olá, bom dia, Pedrito, bom dia, Luísa, bom dia a todos. Bom dia, Alegria.
Did you see all of that, Filomena? And what do you...
Oh, another one, Carl. Oh.
She missed it again. Is this a game you and your husband play at home?
Well, not with a racket like that.
However, I have seen pictures of you with armaments and so on in the last little while. I did see you were at a paintball thing or a laser quest or something like that the other day. That's a good way to get flies, lasers. Go on, Filomena.
Lots and lots of things happened since last month, since last time we spoke. Yes.
Yes, you have sent me the most amazing collection of photographs. I can't fit them all on.
No, of course not. Today we are here to speak about the marches populares, and let's focus on that. Yeah.
Well, you say that, but there are one or two that I need to just get out of the way before we get underway with the marches populares. So thank you, T-Duck, for the brilliant cane sabia, and all of them this week. They will be banked as part of our growing treasury of information about Portugal at GMP VIP. And we may include a few of the things I'm about to show you as well. I haven't got the pictures of the Laser Quest weapons, but I do have pictures of you in go-karts here. What have you been up to, Filomena? What's this?
Yes, that was really fun, really. It was in Pampilhosa da Serra, the walking weekend. So they always organize a walking weekend the last weekend of May every year. And it's a fantastic weekend. We have lots of different activities. Apart from walking, we walked, but we also had lots of other activities.
Amazing. And is this the view here that you would have seen as well? Is this the
yes,
same
this is one. Yeah, one of the views that we can have while we walk, and the marvelous mountain there. Yeah, in Pampilhosa da Serra.
Yeah, and not only outside action, but a bit of indoor action and probably some food as well.
Yes,
that was very brief. But what happened inside? What was the food like at Pampilhosa da Serra?
Oh, it's good, of course.
Naturally.
Yeah, we had, of course, lots of food. We walked a lot, but we also ate a lot and drank a lot. And for example, on that weekend, because it goes from Friday evening to Sunday at lunchtime, and that piece of video was on Friday evening when there was a reception of all the participants. And of course, lots of food were involved and drinking.
Is there a particular speciality there at Pampilhosa da Serra?
Yes, there is something called maranho, which is, do you want me to explain what it is?
I absolutely do, because all of these things,
early morning, and some people might go, oh no.
Okay, you've been warned. I mean, people have seen all sorts this morning already, Filomena, so I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem.
Yeah, well, maranho is the stomach of the goat.
Oh, okay.
That is stuffed with rice and bits of goat meat.
Right.
So, yes, but
so it's like a Portuguese haggis, perhaps. Then
yes, it is like a Portuguese haggis. We also have the same here, not with goat, but with pork. We do the same here in Miranda do Corvo. We call it bucho recheado, stuffed stomach of the pork, of the pig in this case. But in Pampilhosa da Serra, they do it differently, and it's goat, because of course they have lots of goats there.
Yes, and how is that spelt so that I can add that to our treasury?
Maranho.
Yes, please.
M-A.
Yep.
R-A.
Yep.
C-H-O. Maranho. Sorry, Maranhão. Maranhão.
NHO, Maranhão. Okay,
That's
okay.
it.
Fantastic. I would have guessed something similar, but I would have put an E at the beginning. So Maranhão. Okay, very good. We'll make sure we've got some description and perhaps even some pictures of the Portuguese haggis. There. We've got lots of people here to see you this morning. Filomena, Baddy's in, and Bairandi. We've got events from Bairandi later. Susie's in too, as well as James, the Ancient Mariner. Jacqueline Branco is popping in. Good morning, wonderful people. Happy Friday. Just to say we say good luck to a great team going into the soup kitchen today of Senor Joaquim Sa to do lunch. Idea to give Joaquim a rest once a month on a Friday. Have a wonderful Friday and to a fabulous weekend as well. Thank you, Jacqueline Blanco. Good to see you here. João de Nor also in. Hola, bon dia. Yesterday was a complete being Portuguese type of day. Well, we'll let Filomena be the judge of that. Hang out at a cafe with several friends drinking coffee. That was going pretty well then. And very Portuguese. Sipping port shandies. Eating sanduíche from noon till 4 in the afternoon. That's quite Portuguese, isn't it, Filomena?
Yes, you can consider that quite Portuguese. Yes.
Very good. Excellent stuff. Brilliant. And I think people are enjoying the earlier slapstick. Although the flies are still flying around in this room. What's your treatment for flies? Fly paper, fly swatter, fly screens? How do you go about it?
Well, no, I don't have fly screens. But I do hang, those curtains, those curtains that we put at the door at my balcony to the back. I do hang them, but apart from the curtain, I don't have anything else.
Okay, and I think it probably is a bit of a foreigner thing. We've moved our studio to the downstairs now. So there's a couple of like patio doors that open out into the garden. And as a foreigner, I'm thinking, yay, I'm in Portugal, lovely warm weather. I'll just open the doors up. And without thinking, of course, that all of the insect world is also thinking, yay, a house, we're going in. And so that's what happened, I think, this morning. All right, brilliant. And does the electronic tennis racket fry bacon? Yes, but it would need a pretty good clean, I think, before we do anything. Don't give our kids ideas like that, Darren. That's superb. Okay, back to the pictures then, and the run-up to Marchas Populares. Is this the Pampilhosa da Serra dining room? Or is that a different one?
Yes, it is one of the restaurants in Pampilhosa da Serra, in Casal de Lapa, in a village there. And we had this dinner on Saturday, on that weekend. And all the participants, this is just a part of the room because we were too many to be in one room. So, and this was a celebration again of Pampilhosa food and singing. We sang a lot Portuguese and Brazilian songs and English songs. Lots of different songs.
Oh, sorry, just having a cheeky sip of tea there and thinking what a marvelous meal those people have had. I mean, they look like happy diners. That bread basket is empty, as are the plates. There just a few crumbs left on most people's plates. But if you want to get involved, let me just say this now before I forget. Of course, Filomena does trips for Brits and all other nationalities. Trips for Brits with the number 4, tripsforbrits@gmail.com. If you want to put your name down to be included on these incredible outings, mainly around central Portugal. But I think you do go further afield from time to time, don't you, Filomena?
Yes, after the last time we spoke, we also had a visit to the monastery here, Mosteiro de Santa Maria de Smith. So we had a lovely visit to the monastery, and of course we ended up with a very good lunch.
You surprised me.
Yeah, you would never say that would end with food, but yes.
Wonderful. Okay, and so you've been busy, you've been having a lot of fun, which brings us up to date then to this event that will be happening. Okay, so I'm each time we speak, I learn more and more talking to you. And of course, if anyone wants to know anything about Portuguese language or culture, now is the time to ask in this next hour with Filomena here. She's such a legend in our community and so helpful in helping us increase our grasp of the Portuguese language and culture, of course. So do please get any questions you've got about Portuguese language into the comments. And we're also learning about the culture here. So what I've discovered in hearing you talk about Marchas Populares is this is not just a Miranda de Corvo event. This is this is a very sort of Portuguese cultural event. And there's a huge one, isn't there, as part of the Sant Antonio Festival in Lisbon, for example, that's really competitive and does look a bit like Rio early next week, right? So can you give us the kind of background, the backstory to what the general concept is of the Marchas Populares?
Yes, well, first of all, let me say that it's always a pleasure for me to speak about Portuguese culture and Portugal, because I love my country and I love everything to do with it. But starting with Marchas Populares in Lisbon, yes, you are right. In Lisbon, there is a holiday on the 13th of June. So because as you have already mentioned earlier in this show, this month of June is named O Mês dos Santos Populares. So Santos Populares doesn't mean popular saints, it means the saints of the people. So Marchas Populares, it's not popular marching, but it's marching of the people. This tradition is to celebrate all the three saints, Saint Anthony on the 13th of June, then it comes Saint John on the 24th, and then it comes Saint Peter on the 29th. So in June, we celebrate these three saints. And there are a few cities and towns that celebrate this with parades, with so-called Marchas Populares, and also other kind of celebration. Like in Porto, for example, they have, I think we have already talked about that last year, they have the balloons, the paper balloons that they set fire and, they go up, the paper balloons. And the hammer in Porto, they have a little plastic hammer that they hit people on the head.
Yes, Mrs. M would love one of those.
That is another good technique for the flies.
It is, isn't it? It's a bit of multitasking, so we can celebrate Saint João and get rid of the flies at the same time. With the plastic
rid of the fly at the same time.
That's of particular interest, I think. We've got Darren, who's got some friends coming from Yorkshire to visit in Porto, so he can get ahead of the game there and get some of those plastic hammers and show his friends what they do there. And it's a term of affection to hit your friends and family with a plastic hammer, basically around the face and head.
Yes, on the head.
Funny bunch.
Well, I have to tell you that I got a bit of a headache.
It needs to be plastic. Please, people, keep to plastic with the Saint João festivity. But we're seeing there, aren't we? We've got local flavors. So while you've got Sant Antonio in Lisbon, and where I live in, even though it's San Martino de Porto, it's Sant Antonio who's the kind of favorite.
Yes, and we also celebrate Sant Antonio here in Miranda do Corvo. Sant Antonio is celebrated in Lisbon, and because they have the holiday on the 13th, because it's St. Anthony's Day, they celebrate on the 12th in the evening. So every year on the 12th of June, you can see the Marchas Populares in Lisbon, Avenida da Liberdade, so the main avenue. In the evening, you can see the parade. Each neighborhood prepares a kind of marching, dancing show. And as you said, there is a fierce competition to see who is the best group, the best performance. And apart from that, I would like to mention, I don't know if you know about that, but there is another tradition about Lisbon St. Anthony's Day celebration, which is Casamentos de Santo António. Have you ever heard of the weddings of St. Anthony's Day?
Yes. We talked about it briefly last night on the Dream Team session. Sant Antonio is the kind of he blesses, or is the patron saint of marriage as well, right? So there are some selected
This year, I think 33 couples applied and 16 were selected. So they always select 16 couples from the poorest couples, couples that sometimes they have difficulty in paying a wedding, and others that also, wish to have their wedding celebrated on Saint Anthony's celebration. So they applied to the town hall, to the city hall in Lisbon, and then the city hall chooses, selects 16 couples. So then they get married. They can choose, of course, being married in church, in the cathedral of Sé Catedral de Lisboa, or if they don't want to go to the church, they can also celebrate the wedding in the city hall. So there are the two kinds of ceremonies, and so everything is paid by the city hall, and there is a very posh celebration, and then they also participate in the parade in the evening. So it's a long day. It's a long day for the it's a long day for the couples, because they start in the morning. Usually they start with the wedding ceremony, and then they also have a parade through the streets of Lisbon. Sometimes also in old cars, in antiques. They go through the streets of Lisbon, and also walking. It depends on the celebrations. And then at night, they also in the evening they also parade in the marchas populares, just walking. They don't perform. They don't. I think they even have a few moves to present, but they still walk in their wedding costumes and everything. So wedding dress and suit and everything. So
truly, I mean, that's truly a day they'll never forget, right? To be selected.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
And then the others that were, that they celebrate their 25th anniversary or 50th anniversary, they always come back and celebrate as well.
Wow, so there's quite a lot of pressure to have a happy marriage if you're one of those couples then as well, right? unless they allow single people to walk down there. But yeah, that's quite a lot of pressure, and also a lovely gesture from the town hall, of course, to support people who might need a bit of help getting married, and then to celebrate them publicly like that throughout the whole day, and to be part of the march. That's wonderful. And of course, it all comes back to Sant Antonio, who's the patron saint of not really romance, but of marriage itself, right?
Yes, because we usually say that you would like to match couples. Yes. We call him o santo casamenteiro. So
the matchmaker. The matchmaker. Yes, of course. And it just so happens we have an azulejo outside our house here with Sant Antonio on, and the depiction of him there, I think he has a small child sat on his lap, or he's holding a small child, because he's the patron saint of small children as well, isn't he? And also of lost things. So you pray to Sant Antonio, I think, if you've lost something, for it to be found as well. Wonderful. Excellent stuff. Okay. So those are the three main saints. So we've got Sant Antonio, San João, and Saint Peter, who we've not seen.
Yes. So Lisbon is mainly for Sant Antonio. Porto is mainly for Saint John, because Porto celebrates on the 23rd. Again, because the 24th is St. John's Day, and they have a holiday in Porto. And then the 29th is also celebrated in some other cities and some villages and towns. For example, here we have a village, Miange, that also celebrates St. Peter's on the 29th. But there are several places in Portugal. So they are Santos Populares, so the saints of the people, and people celebrate everywhere.
That's so wonderful. And I was saying earlier on, Filomena, that we here in Portugal, this really does mark the beginning of no sleep till autumn as well, right? The partying has begun now in earnest, doesn't it, in June? And then we've got the month of the saints, the people's saints.
Yeah.
And then it will move into more partying of different kinds, carnivals, local festivities. And really, whilst Rio is celebrated as the party capital of the world, I would have it that Portugal, equally, if not better than Rio, because it goes on for months in now, all of the summer, right through into autumn is pretty much about partying. And at the moment in May, we should be training for this, shouldn't we? So that we can be eating and drinking, partying, dancing, staying up late, and going to work, as the Portuguese people do, whilst having all of this going on, right through until autumn time. Why do you think this is never in the tourist guides, that if you come to Portugal in these months, you're going to have a party?
Oh, yes, that's for sure. Because now there is a party almost every weekend, if not, sometimes more than one party at the same weekend. So, yes, there are lots of parties. And from now to August, at least, there is a lot to party. Yeah.
Amazing. All right, so we're going to come back to your Miranda de Corvo special party, the Marchas Populares, and you've talked to a few people who are involved, which is fantastic. Before we do that, let's say hello to a few people and see if Coach Turner, our in-house coach and physical fitness instructor, inspiration, has anything for us as we go into party season. Bom dia, Gumpas, he says, e bem-vindo a sexta-feira. Excited today as off to Silverstone for the weekend as a team engineer. So he's going racing this weekend. Looks like it's going to be a hot one. Yes, very hot weather, a bit of a heat wave apparently in the UK. So good luck. Have a great weekend, Coach Turner. And your God Squad tip of the day, growing old disgracefully. And partying disgracefully here in Portugal. We've been looking at starting walking this week. And there's little doubt it's the best form of exercise, especially as we age. It combines gentle movement with weight bearing. However, there are lots of other ways to exercise, of course, cycling, swimming, and rowing, and dancing, we should say, especially at this time of year, and processing in a carnival style through the town, for instance, all have their place in the mix and are excellent aerobic activities. So special shout out for dancing then as a way of staying fit. But try not to just stick with one thing. Add other types of exercise to include weight bearing. It's important for the joints and the bones. Great stuff. Maybe you might want to pledge to dance a little bit with the Carnival crowd and the marching folks who we'll meet in just a moment. Bom dia, Gumpers. Feliz sexta todos. Como está? Tudo bem? Perfect, I would say there, wouldn't you, Filomena? With James's greeting to us all there.
Sorry. I didn't.
That's textbook, isn't it? James is greeting to us. Feliz sexta todos. Como está? Tudo bem. I think 10 out of 10. Yep.
Tudo bem, tudo ótimo.
Tudo bem, James. What's his name? I'm Carlitos. What would James be in Portuguese, do you think? Jamesinho.
Jaiminho.
Jamie, okay. Bom dia, alegria from our friend Pete. Especially for you, fantastic Filomena. It is a very moist morning, but I am sure it will burn off by the weekend. Looking forward to, and you want some talcum powder on that, Pete. Looking forward to going to the Cherry Festa with you, Filomena and family. So what's this? Have we got a Cherry Festa this weekend? Oh, sorry, Filomena. Do you need to get a glass of water? Shall I read through these?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. She's just going to get a glass of water, and I'll keep reading through the comments here. I can see her. It's fine. I'm not in the same room as Filomena, but I can see her to make sure she's okay. We have an appointment, so I think Pete not staying with us, but wants to remind us all that the Man Cave is on from 10 this evening. There you go. Let's give her another round of applause. She's back. She's back, everybody. Bon dia from Anna, Swede.
We are spending the weekend with Peter. Yes, we are going tomorrow to his fantastic farm. And then we are also going for the Cherry Festival in Fundão.
Yeah, Fundão, all about the cherries. Wonderful. It's cherry season, everybody. Cereja. Today is the start of the Santos Populares feasts ongoing for the rest of June in the Algarve, down there in Villarreal de Santo Antonio. Of course, Villarreal de Santo Antonio. Looking forward to some nice cultural happenings and nice food and drinks. And we got a nice photo from you, which I'll squeeze in as well. If not today, then on Monday. Anna, thank you for that. Matty, bon dialogue. Now, you put him right, didn't you, last time? You coached him to say console rather than soliero.
But today it's cloudy, so...
Yeah. Pombal nublado e encoberto overcast, I'm guessing. Boa sexta-feira. Thank you very much, Matty, for your greeting. And just listen, says Coach Turner, to Little Tubular Bells, and it reminded me. Oh, that's not the name of the album. I think to a little of Tubular Bells, because that's quite a commitment, isn't it? Listening to the whole album reminded me of a sunny evening at a garden party at a college a million years ago. Amazing how music can bring back vivid memories. I think that's relating to my blubbing before the show whilst listening to soul music. Wow, Pete says, they invented the bell whilst you were still at college. Oh, naughty. I presume they were still working on fire back then. That's very naughty, Peter. Great to see you here, Emma, Owen, Suze as well, and Victoria in Portimao. And we had some recollections of birthdays, first birthdays here in Portugal. Bon dia from a slightly battered Barrada market for lunch today with visiting family from Lisbon. Lovely. And your events, thank you for those, Andy. We'll go through those before the end of the show. Morning, kids. Just a quick hello from a damp but warm Castanheira de Pera. We're expecting 2,500 motorbikes to pass through the Conselho today. Should be fun to see. What's this, Filomena? Why have they got 2,500 motorbikes passing through Castanheira?
I don't know. Let me tell you, I don't know everything around Portugal.
But that's going to make quite an impression, isn't it, at Castanheira today? 2,500 motorbikes getting ready.
Motorbikers also have lots of activities, and so the motorbike clubs. Remember Mac from the motorbike club?
I do.
So the clubs, the motorbike clubs, they also organize lots of rides. So and there are so we are in June, but later on there is also, for example, in Faro, there is also the meeting, and sometimes in Goiás as well. So there are some meetings that they do in some parts of the country. So probably this is one of their meetings.
It's going to be noisy, isn't it? I mean, sometimes on a weekend, I live on the road from San Martino to Nazaré, and there'll be bikers going past, and there might be a gang of them, 20 people, and it's 2,500 of those is going to take about half an hour, isn't it, for all of that lot to come through the town?
Yes, it will probably.
Right, bit of vocabulary, Filomena. Queria duas caraças, por favor.
Carcaças.
Caracachas. What did I say? Something else. Caracachas.
Yes, you said something else.
Whoops. Queria duas papas secos, por favor. You get the same thing. So, caracachas are also bread rolls, are they? Papas secos.
Yes, they are. They are bread rolls, yes.
All right. And the reason that was mentioned is because of this.
The papo seco, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, the 6-pack of papo secos right there at the bakery. That's
You know that papo can be a synonym for stomach, and seco is dry.
Oh, okay. So dry stomach. So
yes, dry stomach.
Well, this all works rather well then, doesn't it? If I take this comment,
it makes sense, doesn't it?
It does make sense then to have this image of the bread 6-pack there. But it works on so many levels. Fantastic stuff. Thank you very much, T-Duck, for sending that image in. We do like an amusing image at any time, but we'd love to start the show with an amusing image. So if you have any of those, do send them in. Back to a few more comments and no doubt some questions about the Portuguese language and culture before we get into the Marchas Populares as they're doing it in Miranda do Corvo this coming weekend, I believe, right, Filomena?
Yes, next weekend. Yes, the 17th.
All right, brilliant. Papo Seco, thank you. Yes, we've got that, James. That's fantastic. Wonderful. We heard about the motorbikes coming through Castanheira de Pera. Where are we? Lots of lovely comments this morning. Fantastic. It's not about pulling up the shirt like this. It's about what is under the shirt. Always. Fantastic. And yeah, Porto's already busy enough. Darren, not too happy about the added dynamics of the São João festival, but like Mrs. M said, you got to suck it up and treat those friends from Sheffield to bonk on the head with a plastic hammer. And you're very welcome, Sarah. Happy birthday to you. Parabéns, I will say to you. And I'm having visions of this fly swatting thing going horribly wrong. Yes, it did go fairly badly, doesn't it? And Darren thought it was also a visual representation of Brexit. There's a bit of a metaphor there. Thank you very much. There's been some violence here. From Tennessee Williams, one act play. What are they? The Gnadadijas Fraulein, the gracious lady. We're so cultural here. Fantastic.
We really are.
We are, aren't we? It's incredible. A fabulous play that is apparently about showbiz, ego, and interference in the business in art. That's the Good Morning Portugal show right there. Beautifully described, especially this morning. Bom dia, alegria, Suze, says Baddy. And I have the best of Gumper World right now, watching on no less than 3 devices at the same time. Nice one, Baddy. TV, laptop, and cell phone. Feeling like a very sophisticated lady today. Those downhill go-karts then, Filomena, are fantastic. There's one this weekend on the map. So that's quite a popular thing, is it, around central Portugal, the go-karting events, and people can have a go as well, can they?
Yes, and of course in central Portugal we have lots of hills, so it's not hard.
That's made for it. It'd be pretty rubbish, wouldn't it, in the Alentejo?
Alentejo probably a bit too slow.
You have to get the family to push you there. Okay, Jess is in as well. Jess often comes because I think you're here, Filomena, on a Friday, and Squire of the Shires, Friday salutations, everybody as well. Lavender, does that keep flies out? Do bowls of beer keep flies out, or is that
the idea is to get rid of the flies? Yes.
Okay. When it comes to flies, I'm old school. Buttons. See what you did there? That's a dad joke. A small procession went by the house yesterday in this small village. They left a 12-foot carpet of flowers outside the church around the corner. Have lovely pictures from John Heimbach of the flowers in Ponte Lima as well. So that's happening at the moment. That was for Corpus Christi, wasn't it?
Yes, it was yesterday. It was another holiday in Portugal, and it was a religious holiday this time. And it was, yes, as you said, Corpus Christi, Corpo de Deus. Carl?
Corpus Christi. And I do have a lovely image to share of that. Oh, we're having Yeah, I don't know what's happening there. Maybe a fly got into the wrong part of the studio and is causing problems behind the scenes. I've got a beautiful image. Right, and we might have a little bit of a delay added now, which will add to the fun this morning. There you go. There's one of the floral. What would that be? It's like a carpet of florality of flowers, and you'll see this, won't you, all over Portugal on the Corpus Christi Day. And this will need to be blessed, won't it, Filomena, by the priest before it gets completely messed up like a mandala later on in the day.
Yes, usually they have a procession and they walk on it. They step on flowers and
so much work in that. Yep, so much work in that beautiful act of devotion, basically, is what it is, of course. Leah is here as well. Hola, Filomena, Carl, and all lovely to see you here.
Hola, Leah.
Oh, and we're getting other. Shall I go for it, Filomena? It's gone. A natural fly spray. Simply add baking soda, lemon juice, and essential oil to water. Fill a spray bottle. We use it on the horses, and it works for humans too. Thank you. A nice natural solution there. Annie's here. Look, Annie Hamilton Gibney is here. Filomena's trips are great days out.
And she will be later on if you play the video.
Oh, if we ever get round to it. Only a few more comments, Filomena. But a lot of people want to say hello to you, see. Good morning from Cairo this morning, as in Cairo.
Hello.
Caldas and Suze. I'm sorry, our mailbag is filled to overflowing. I'll have a look, Suze, in just a moment. Always love a bit of dancing. So Coach Turner approves of the dancing. And you got a chance to dance, basically, for the next 3 months. Try it, folks. I will try to meet Pete and Filomena, says Matty, at the Cherry Festa in Fundão this Sunday. Perfect. Dougie's in as well. Bon dia. I nearly did that in Welsh by Bon Di. That's what it's Bon dia. Very good. Welsh name Di, of course. And everything's slower in the Alentejo, as I understand it, including the
It is.
Last one for now, then, from James. I've been noticing a correlation between you fussing with bringing things, images, etc., on the screen, and you freezing up on the studio feed. There is definitely a correlation, but I do like to push it and see how far we can. It's like how fast we can make this thing go. I put my foot down technologically, and it doesn't always go terribly well. Right, Filomena, we have some old pictures, and we have some new video. Are the old pictures of the things I should show now or later on?
Maybe you can show them later, but I would like to focus today, as I said, on the Marchas Populares.
we got there in the end. Right. So shall I play the first of your interviews then with people?
Yes, please.
All right, here we go.
Hello, what's your name?
Ivaneida.
And what's your nationality?
I'm a Brazilian.
Oh, good. And you are participating in this year's marches, aren't you?
Yes, I do, yeah.
So what's your opinion about it?
Oh, excelente. It's my first time I'm participating in the march in Miranda do Corvo. I I love it.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, how wonderful. So we're in the gymnasium. Could you remind me, what's that lady's name again?
Ivaneida.
Ivaneida is there from Brazil. And so you're there practicing, are you? Is this the warm up?
Every night now. Every night. So we finish at about midnight every night.
Really? How long have you been doing this for?
Really? Sorry?
How long have you been in practice and in training for this?
For a few months now.
Really?
But now, because it's next week, now we have to practice every day.
Every day. Okay, so the intensity, you stepped up, and up until midnight every day now until the 17th when the thing actually takes place. Bairrandi loving the Marchas Populares in his part of the Bairrada as well. Annie's commenting, in Lamas we have a 1 kilometer long carpet of flowers in March. That's so beautiful.
Yes.
Let's go to another interview. Brilliant journalism here, Filomena. Let's go to the next one here.
Hello, what's your name?
My name is Henk.
And what nationality are you?
I'm Dutch.
Okay. And why are you here in Marches this year?
Oh, well, I'm practicing for the Marchas Populares in Miranda de Corvo.
Are you enjoying it?
Oh, yes, it's really fun. It's really fun.
So would you recommend to other people living in Portugal that are not Portuguese?
Oh, yes, definitely. But not with too many foreigners, because otherwise everybody's going to speak English and we have to learn Portuguese, of course.
But we don't speak English in our practice, do we?
No, but the English-speaking people come together a little bit and try to speak English all the time.
No, but we speak a lot of Portuguese.
Yes, that's true. That's
Okay.
true.
Okay, thank you very much and enjoy yourself.
I will.
Well, the English-speaking people come together and try and speak a bit of English. We're going to stamp that out.
He's complaining about too many English.
That's brilliant. But he's got a point, hasn't he? Yeah, and you have a point there. If you go along to this, you're going to be immersed with.
We do speak Portuguese all the time. We do.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's going to be
just for the interview because it was for the show. And
well, thank you. Yeah, and what a great opportunity. I mean, if you're immersed in training in Portuguese up till midnight every night for a few weeks, you're going to learn some stuff, aren't you? You're really
yes, that's for sure. And we have a special guest today to speak about that as well.
Marvelous.
But
Okay.
now we can see the other interviews, maybe.
A couple more interviews. Here's another one.
Hello, what's your name?
Annie Hamilton-Gibney.
And what's your nationality?
I'm British.
And you are living in Portugal, aren't you?
I certainly am. It's our
And-
6th year now.
Good. And so you are participating in the marches in Miranda do Corvo, aren't you?
I'm the only English woman here.
Well, the only English woman, but
Yeah. There's a couple of men, but the only English woman so far this year.
very good. And would you recommend this to other people?
I would actually. It's been great fun. I wasn't sure to start with. I sort of had my arm twisted a bit, but I've actually really been enjoying it. And it's been really good to learn Portuguese because all of the instructions are in Portuguese and we've had to learn a song and everything. And it's good for the old grey matter because you have to learn all the steps and keep all that in your mind. And it's been a bit of keep fit, but without being too strenuous. So it's had a lot of pluses, and it's also been really good kind of meeting lots of other people in the community as well.
Yes, essentially to be part of the community
absolutely. I
is
keep bumping.
I think we had a little bit of I certainly at mine had a bit of a streaming problem with the video at the end, but Annie makes a very good point there again about the importance of being in the Portuguese culture, learning, and you just soak it up, don't you? Because you're focusing on your footwork and your movements and trying to keep up, and it's intensive and intense, but very powerful by the sound of it. So well done, Annie.
Yes, and the idea is that if you are living in Portugal, why not taking part in the community activities, right?
And a deeply meaningful cultural event like Santos Populares. Marchas Populares, sorry, Marchas Populares. Get it right, Carl.
And you have fun at the same time.
You do, you so do. So, final interview then. This is a couple we're speaking to. A couple of minutes of a video here. The final interview.
That is our coach, so she deserves a longer interview.
Absolutely. Just this is fantastic. So we're talking to the coach now, where all of the people you've seen before are training, and this is their leader.
So here we have our coach of our marchas da Casa do Povo de Miranda do Corvo, Helena Rafael, and Francisco Pereira is going to translate for us. Although Helena speaks English, but she feels more confident speaking in Portuguese. So, Helena, what's your opinion about having some foreigners in our group?
Eu acho que é muito positivo porque partilhamos, neste momento estamos juntos, partilhamos a nossa cultura com eles e de certa maneira eles também partilham um bocadinho da deles connosco.
So Helena thinks that this is very positive to having them in the group because they can learn our culture and also they can bring them culture for us and it's like share cultures between.
Eles são muito motivados, participativos, são empenhados e gostam de aprender a coreografia, toda esta nossa tradição, tudo o que envolve esta atividade. Eles mostram-se muito interessados.
Also, she knows and she thinks that they are very motivated and they are very interested in know the choreography, to learn the choreography and also to be part of the tradition.
Eles participam não só na coreografia, como também a fazer os arcos, colaboram nas roupas, quando é preciso costurar. Portanto, eles estão envolvidos em tudo o que a atividade precisa. Tudo o que é preciso para pôr a marcha na rua, eles ajudam e colaboram.
And also to do the other part of the marcha that is not only dancing, it's to make the clothes and prepare the arches and all the decoration. They are involved in that and they participate. They help the people to do all the stuff.
Nós começámos apenas com 2 pessoas estrangeiras e neste momento já temos 6. O que é muito bom, é muito bom e eu fico contente e espero que venham mais ainda.
We started to have only 2 people and now we have 6. So it's very positive and we hope to have more each year.
Very good. And of course, Francisco, he holds a glass because it's not just dancing.
Yes.
We sometimes have some food and drinks as usual in Portugal. So I hope you come to see us on the 17th,
yes.
Right? 17th in Miranda do Corvo. Bye-bye. Thank you very much. Bye.
You.
Oh, hey, what happened there? I think we need a big round of applause. As if by magic. Who's this on the screen with us now, Filomena?
Magic. So this is Paul Drain.
Bom dia, Portugal.
Hey, Paul. We've met you before. Some of us have met you before, I think, on the screen. Lovely to see you again. And you're involved in this event too, are you?
Oh, yes. Yeah. That was my lovely wife, Eva.
Ivaneda is Paul's wife.
Right. And one of the Brits that I think Annie referred to as well is you, Paul.
Yes, one of the Brits.
Yeah.
Right.
The problem with the Portuguese, they like to try and learn their English sometimes. So they start talking English to you.
Yeah, right. No, I think a lot of us experience that, don't we? And I guess you have to it's like a game of 2 halves in a way, isn't it? Okay, we'll do the first bit in English and we'll do the second bit because we both want to practice here. So you got to kind of balance that out a bit. Paul, thank you for being here. That was lovely to speak to the coach there and hear about what's been going on with it. Not just learning the routine, but building the arches, I think that was said, and the costumes.
Yes, because everything is sorry to interrupt, but everything is prepared by the group. It's a volunteer work. The Casa do Povo, you see.
I wanted to ask you about that. Casa do Povo is what the town hall or the People's Association.
Casa do Povo is a community also that is a volunteer group. So everything is done by everybody. So everybody helps preparing the arches, the decorations, the clothes. We have women that come when we practice, while we are dancing, practicing. There are other women, sewing and preparing the clothes and everything.
Just to clarify, we're talking about Casa de Polvo, not Casa de Polvo, which would be the house of the octopus, right? This is the house of the people, the Polvo.
Casa do Povo, Casa do Povo.
Okay, all right. Now I need to ask you, Paul. The British gentleman is not known for his swivelly hips necessarily. Us Brits can be a little bit in need of a spray of WD-40 to get on the dance floor, or a couple of beers. How has that been for you as a British gentleman, getting into the dancing and the moves?
Well, I now shower regularly every night in WD-40.
Is it helping?
My hips were stiff, but now I can shake my booty with the best of them, I expect.
You need a lifetime sponsorship, clearly. WD-40, if you're watching, that you couldn't wish for a better endorsement of your product than that from Paul.
There are other lubricants available.
Yes, we should say that. So we're told. All right. So, but generally speaking, it sounds like it's been a wonderful experience for you, because you wouldn't be here this morning, would you? You wouldn't be joining Filomena otherwise. Tell us about it.
I did spend the first 2 weeks there, learning Portuguese. I spent the first 2 weeks there trying to find the woman called Vera. Only to find out it means turn.
Vera.
Oh dear, it's a bit like Saida. That's a Portuguese women's name, isn't it? And you see it all over the tube station or whatever. Saida. Wow. So you didn't find Vera in the end. You just learned that that's what you're meant to be doing.
Yes, I know my left and my right, and it's left first, then right. Otherwise, you'll get Eleanor after you.
Yes, quite amazing. And then so for some of I think people are getting the idea here that getting involved in such an event is a really good idea as a foreigner coming in. It's a beautiful immersion in the culture. You're going to make new friends, Portuguese friends. You're going to learn some Portuguese. Some of us here might think, oh, I couldn't possibly do that. It sounds like there'd be too much going on. It's too intense. What's your experience of that? Have you been made welcome? I'm guessing you have.
Extremely welcome. Yeah, they definitely bring you into the fold.
Right.
Both the dancing and the socialising afterwards. Late nights though, there's some we do finish sort of 11:30 at night sometimes.
Yes,
that's the dancing. Then of course there's the partying afterwards.
Tell us more about that then, because that is an adjustment. I mean, we're talking about getting party fit now, aren't we? For the whole of the summer through until autumn, which is what it is to be proper Portuguese. Now, for some expats, some of the folks who've come here to retire and have a quiet life, some of them are in bed by 8, aren't they, at night? So you have to rethink that, don't you, if you're going to be part of this culture you're talking about?
You certainly do. Have your afternoon nap.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my advice. Otherwise, you will miss the fun.
Right. Okay. So there's an adjustment for a few of you who will see this. Is don't get too freaked out by not being in bed. You're not going to. I mean, people aren't going to turn into pumpkins, are they? They're not going to turn into Portuguese pumpkins by midnight.
Well, I don't know. After 12 o'clock, I'm not quite sure. There was a glass slipper found there the other week. But,
right. Okay. Oh no, there wasn't. Right. So yeah, I mean, this does frighten people. I think it's like the dinner time thing, isn't it? When people first come to Portugal, some of the Brits are down at the restaurant knocking on the door at 6 in the evening, and Portuguese people will be having their nap. I don't know. So, can you tell us more about the secrets, the insider secrets then of preparing for party season? Are you talking about a power snooze, or are you talking about a proper nap, where when you wake up you don't actually know what day it is?
It's a good old power snooze. Put something on the TV that's some political program that generally works for me. That sort of generally puts you off to sleep. Something with Boris, and then you're off straight away. Okay. But definitely have a little afternoon kit. But you still get up early though.
Okay. So there's no lying in, is there? So get up and early to the cafe, maybe for a couple of shots of cafe.
Indeed, yes, yeah. Then work, and then have your afternoon kit, get yourself ready for the evening, and then party on, dude, as they say.
Perfect. And this partying before the party, but after the training. What does that look like? Does everyone go to the pub or the bar after you've been working out?
No, it's a bring a bottle party.
You share everything in Portugal. Yeah. You come and share. You bring a few cakes, a few, sandwiches. There was a man that baked a huge bread, a huge bread with chorizo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And that's what you take to the training with you. So there's like a bring and share supper after you've done all your rehearsals.
Drinks, yes.
How lovely. And then if you're lucky, back at home and in bed before midnight, and then up again early in the morning. But that all important power snooze in the afternoon. That's making a difference for you, is it, Paul?
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%. Yeah, you'll be you'll be dead on your knees if you didn't. But just
very good. Okay, that's the secret, everybody. Get with the program. Don't be one of these party poopers who, no, 8 o'clock's too late for me. I need to be in bed after dinner at 6 or whatever. You need to adjust your lifestyle, I think, here in Portugal. Talking of which, Paul, how long have you been here? And how is it you ended up being in central Portugal for those who are interested in, where to settle in Portugal?
Well, I've been here. I've moved here 3 years ago. We bought the house 6 years ago. But as the wife's Brazilian, the choice was, when I retired, do I move to Brazil?
Oh, really?
Or do we stay a bit closer to the UK and the kids? So Portugal's a handy little place because luckily they speak Portuguese. So does the wife.
Yes.
And, but we tried the Algarve and way too hot.
Okay.
In the summer, it's just El Scorchio. So, and obviously Porto, they're the northerners, and I'm a southerner. So I thought I'd try the West Country.
I can see the analogy there. So you found your sweet spot basically, or your Goldilocks bit of the countryside, not too northern and not too hot.
Not too hot, exactly that. Yeah, just right. Yeah, and we did spend a week out here searching the place. Very tiring, but Coimbra is a beautiful city, absolutely amazing city, and with amazing people. Miranda de Corvo, they got Filomena. So
I'm teaching him. I'm teaching Portuguese to him.
Very good. Okay, and so phenomenal, Filomena. I think you're very lucky to be in an area where you have Filomena next to you as a neighbour.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What other advice would you give to people who are thinking about where to settle in Portugal, and then of course once they found their place, how to become part of the community, as well as joining the local dance troupe, as it were, for Marchas Populares. What else are you doing, or did you do to integrate yourself?
Well, when they have a festa, go along to all the festas and start chatting to the locals. I was one last year, and on my own. And one of the guys came over, started talking, bought me a drink. And again, if Portuguese, they want to practice their English, they suss out your English, they're straight on to you. And the agreement was, I've got to speak Portuguese and he's going to speak English, and we correct each other. And that sort of gets you into the swing of things.
Very good. So you don't take it in turns. You actually speak a sort of bilingual conversation in real time.
In real time, which is interesting. It gets better the more wine you drink, of course.
Yes,
more very fluent after 5 or 6 glasses of wine.
And you go home thinking you're like PhD Portuguese conversationalist after
definitely PH plus.
Brilliant.
And we also participated in the walking with 300 people last week.
Oh,
we had a walking activity here.
Well, we went to Pampelhosa.
Yes, that too. We had last week here in Miranda.
Last week.
Yeah, come on, keep up, Paul.
Yes, indeed. So many walks.
So many activities.
Yeah.
He got lost.
Yeah. So we did the local walk in Miranda, sponsored by Repsol, and
and the gym also is fit.
Which was fantastic. 300 people?
300 people participated in this walk.
300 people in yellow T-shirts.
Yes.
Marching up the hill.
12 kilometers.
12 kilometers round trip.
Oh, that would have got quite a dash. Fantastic.
Absolutely was. It was.
And how did we finish?
I can guess.
Lunch.
Oh, yeah. Well, it started off with the vino, then it was lunch.
Now, I've had a bit of feedback. Somebody struggled a little bit earlier on with the Portuguese haggis and the stuffed goat stomach. What are some of your favourites, Paul, since you've been here?
I've tried the chafana. That's good. It's good around here anyway. As you go around Portugal, apparently there's some horror stories.
This is the origin. This is the origin.
This is where it all begins. I've had some nightmares foods, which
go on. What it
was, Filomena, but it was a casserole with lumps of pork, and the pork still had hair on it.
Yeah. Okay.
Very appealing.
That's the cozida portuguesa, though, isn't it? The sort of traditional.
Probably not. Maybe feijoada with beans.
It didn't have beans with it, but it was like a pork stew.
With some interesting cuts.
Rancho.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So not too keen on that. On the positive side, what sort of things are you liking, and would you recommend to other people?
Well, obviously the weather and the stunning scenery and the people, and just basically just don't worry about things. Get out there, start chatting to people, and get yourself in the community.
That's the point we want to highlight today. Get yourself involved in the community.
Yeah, brilliant.
And obviously do some lessons with Filomena.
Yes, trips for Brits, #4@gmail.com to get in touch with Filomena.
And we also had lots of fun in Pampilhosa da Serra, as you was mentioning.
Absolutely, yeah. Pampilhosa da Serra was fantastic.
Well, you are synonymous with fun, Filomena, making things happen and making us so welcome as foreigners into Portugal. So thank you very much for that. Last words to you then, Filomena, about getting party fit and ready for this incredible party season that's about to happen in Portugal, which I think is massively underrated and underplayed. You know, this is the envy of the world, really, that, as you said, often there is the choice of more than one party every weekend from now until around autumn, where rightly people will go into a state of semi-hibernation again when the weather gets colder. But what else can you suggest to people to get ready for this wonderful season that's coming up, Filomena?
Well, as I said, first of all, get involved in what is around you, what is happening around you, because there are so many things happening now. You choose something that you like and join in. As Paul and Martin and Mac and Annie and Hank and all the others are participating in marches, for example, and they are participating in the walking activities, in the lots of other activities that they are in. So I think because it's a lot of fun to meet other people, to talk to other people, not to get just isolated in your own, in your own shell. So speak to other people, and even if they don't speak, because lots of people in the villages mainly they don't speak other language rather than Portuguese. But you can always find a way to communicate with them. And of course, if you learn a little bit of Portuguese, they will appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely right. So this is the event that Paul and everyone else we heard from. Thank you, Filomena, for those wonderful interviews. 17th of June. It's 2 days. It's 2 days of fun.
2 days, yeah. The first day, Saturday in the evening, as you can see at 9 o'clock. We are starting the marches populares, so the parades, and then on Sunday it's food and drinks. It goes on, the food and drink, and also the concertinas.
On the poster, some foreigners will be looking at that and thinking, midnight. The band's coming on at midnight. Is that a mistake?
It's not a mistake, because we will have the parade here in the square. We will have the parade. We will perform a couple of times, and we are together 8 groups, so 8 different groups that are going to perform. And then after the parade, about midnight, we will all be together and we will eat sardines and some grilled meat and drink lots of beer, wine, and we will dance. So we will need music at midnight. We will need some music to have fun and dance and keep on partying.
Amazing. Have a wonderful time. Thank you so much, Filomena, today for being here on this Filomena Friday and learning more with you and hearing about what's going on in Miranda de Corvo. And Paul, thank you. Have a good one, my friend. It was great to see you.
Will, sir. Yeah, definitely. Well,
all right.
I'll raise a glass to Good Morning Portugal.
Please do. To the Gumpers. Have a fantastic weekend. Take care. Bye for now. Ciao, ciao. Buon fine semana. There they go. All right, super. Filomena, Paul, thank you so much. We got a few dad jokes. They're actually more like dude jokes today, or dude. They seem to be cannabis-based dad jokes, which is why I'm calling them dude jokes. What I did forget to mention is some older pictures here, I think, of earlier festivities in Miranda de Corvo. Aren't these beautiful pictures here? Whoa, look at these beautiful pictures, which will lead into the events. Oh, wonderful. How lovely. And we'll lead into, look at this, from back in the day there at Miranda de Corvo. Thank you, Filomena. Thank you, Paul. And let's move over from Miranda de Corvo to the Bairrada region to savor a couple or three or more events that are happening there. A video gamers event. These can all be seen on the Gumper map. Go to goodmorningportugal.com and you'll be able to click on the Gumper map and see this absolute abundance of festivals going on. There's the one that Antonio, I think, put up in Lisbon. It's the culmination of the book festival as well as the wonderful San Antonio Marchas Populares in the capital as well. Pimba Festa in Anadia. Look at this. There's so many things happening. Tapas and Papas in Cantanhede. And that's near Coimbra. Free dancing afternoons. Coach Turner will approve of this. A bit of aerobic activity in the form of dancing, supporting the Bombeiros Voluntários de Belas in Sintra there this coming weekend in the next few days. Cantanhede, jazz, nice in Cantanhede there. Quite a lot if you do like your jazz music, there are quite a lot of events around Portugal. Biker Bash, maybe those 2,500 motorbikers are heading over that way to the Biker Bash at the Big Paul's Lake in Ancash near Anadia, and also more biking action. Free Speedway at Amoreira do Gondara in the Bairrada region. Couple more for you. Free walk, run in Melhada, and you can bet your life there's food afterwards as well. And that's Melhada, where you'll find all the suckling pig, not far from Luso, where the water comes from, and the incredible Busaco Palace as well, all within a stone's throw or a little drive away. Go-kart racing, as we saw Filomena earlier on, in the Vagos there. All of these on the Gumper map, and a free walk of the fountains at Palhaça in the Bairrada region as well. Just a couple more now. Free walk as we get ready for our hangout together. GMP VIPs. The link is on the gmpvip.com if you want to join us from 10 and see Mrs. M slap more flies on my forehead. Free walk from the Parque de Ribaño in Oia in Oliveira do Bairro there. And finally, thank you, Andy, for all of these. Very diligently shared on the Gumper map. Evening parties. There you go. Some sardine action finally. Sardinhadas at the Barra Beach near Aveiro. These are great fun parties at Praceta San João at the popular Barra Beach near Aveiro, where you see those candy-striped houses through the month of June and into July, with the main attraction of being freshly grilled sardines. A trip to Aveiro and then along to Barra Beach. How about that? And don't forget, of course, 17th and 18th, back to Miranda de Corvo for the Marchas Populares 23 there. Okay, are those dad jokes that I promised? Let's go back to those before we head to the hangout. And why did the cows keep returning to the marijuana plantation? It was the pot calling the cattle back. Ouch. I don't always roll a joint, but when I do, it's my ankle. You get to that age, don't you? Thank you very much, T-Duck, for those. And thank you all. Wishing you a very happy bon fin de semana. And we'll see you on Monday, where we'll speak to a wonderful guest who's written a book about Brazil, actually. I think it's aimed at people who want to move to Brazil and learn a little bit about the culture, and we're going to be hearing about it. It's a book called Deconstructing Brazil by Simone Torres Costa. She joined us before, me and James, on a Monday morning. She's going to be back on Monday. A book called Deconstructing Brazil, Beyond Carnival, Soccer, and Girls in Small Bikinis, challenging the stereotypes around Brazil there. Have a great weekend. Get into that party mood and get your WD-40 sprayed on your hips and get them swiveling nicely for the weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Take care and bye for now.
Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.
Good morning, Portugal, and I'd like to welcome you to another fantastic day.
Hey, Gumpers.